One for the record books. The world's longest running casting call. Nope, not for Wonder Woman. Not Batman. You guessed it, Bond. James Bond. 007 himself. In a film thread, our job is to speculate, argue, and debate casting choices. And just like Blofeld, Goldfinger, Dr. Evil, nothing fuels the chaos more than the hunt for the next James Bond. But instead of yelling into the void, what if we looked at where people are actually backing their opinions? That's where Call Sheet comes in. It's a platform where you can trade on real-world events, including who will be the next Bond. And yeah, it's legal in all 50 states. Right now, the market is circling a few names. Aaron Taylor Johnson? That's the front runner. Jacob Elordi, the wild card. And what about Callum Turner, sleeper? Less hype. If I'm reading the market right, Aaron Taylor Johnson makes sense on paper. Jacob Elordi? Highly doubtful, but what do I know? Personally, I lean toward Callum Turner gaining ground. And that's why Call Sheet works. You're not just watching the conversation, you're stepping into it. If you got an opinion on Bond, and I know you do, here's your chance. Click our link in the description or use the code FILMTHREAT to check out the James Bond actor market yourself and get $10 when you trade $10. Don't just say who Bond should be, trade it.
GINA Carano, is she coming back to Star Wars? Here she is, and she looks pretty good, actually. She looks very good.
Looking great.
She always looks good, by the way.
Looking forward to that fight. Here's what she had to say.
I don't know, like, who invites you back? Is there one person?
Well, I guess
I've already had a conversation with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. Really lovely. You know, after we settled the lawsuit, we got on a Zoom call. It was really nice.
Wow.
Dave Filoni's taking over, CEO of Star Wars, and it's like we didn't even miss a beat. And Jon Favreau was really funny. He's like, got on the Zoom and he's like, so where did we leave off? And we hadn't spoke for a while. And he's like, where did we leave off? And I was like, yeah, like kind of, they've been in that world a long time. And, I think you have a decision in life. You can go left and you can just completely give up on yourself and wallow in pain and regret and all of that. Or you can go right and you can get your shit together and you can say, no, I'm going to do everything I can. And I've chosen to go that direction. And I feel more alive than I've ever felt.
I mean, would you watch a show? She was going to be part of a show. What was
Rangers of the Republic.
Mm-hmm. Rangers of the New Republic.
The New Republic, yeah.
Would you watch it? I mean, GINA was a standout and a highlight of the Mandalorian series.
Well, the question is, should she go back to Star Wars?
Yeah,
right. My initial answer was no to that, but then Andre, I was on a show with him yesterday from Midnight's Edge. He made a great point. He said, look, personal feelings aside, yes, she should go back. Not necessarily because of Star Wars itself, but because it kind of shows the rest of the studios that, hey, the studio that let her go, all's forgiven, and they're hiring her again. So then that could lead to other parts for her with other studios. So I'm like, yes, okay,
well,
that's a
she
great
leading
point.
her own show? Isn't she's doing a new show? I think that she's the star of.
I don't know.
Not that I know of. I mean,
in Vegas, right? She's doing like a Vegas show.
She's got the big fight coming up.
Yeah.
Well, and at the time, like I really did enjoy the Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2, and like particularly for her character, I always liked her character. It was interesting.
Like, that's why she was getting a spinoff. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was again like a female character done right. She was real. She was well written and well performed. Yeah, I liked her. And the finale of season 2, we got to know more about her. Like she was from Alderaan, which was interesting, and they kind of like laid the groundwork for a future like diving deeper into her character. And there was some really interesting things there that they could have explored. I think ultimately it comes down to what the scripts are like, what the stories are like, because currently there is no creative force. That it's just all by committee. These decisions are being made and they keep making horrible decisions. So unless the creativity part of Star Wars is back on track and they're trying to make good stories, then yeah, I think that should be open, and I look forward to seeing it. But I don't know. I think she, like any of us, would be hesitant about what a future Star Wars project will look like. As long as the story is the most important thing, then okay. I'm more optimistic about that, but I have yet to see. We'll see how Starfighter turns out. But
I think the area that she's landing in is kind of a creative dead end, like the Filoni verse or whatever this is. It's like nobody cares about it. Nobody's watching Mando. Nobody's going to watch Ahsoka. Nobody's going to watch any of the stuff that's going on in this particular era where her character lands in Star Wars. So if there was a way to get her out of this era and move her forward in time, maybe, well after the sequel trilogy, maybe. But I don't think that
this is the best, most there's so many stories to tell now. The problem is that in this version, they all lead to Rey Skywalker.
That's my point.
Right.
That's my point. All roads lead to the sequel trilogy. And so that's my point. Like at this particular juncture where they are, there's nowhere for, I don't care about what's happening right now with the Mando verse, with the Filoni verse. I don't care what they've set up. So yeah, you could bring her back and you could do the Rangers of the New Republic show and you could try to add more to the Filoni verse. I don't care. I don't care. And I don't think anybody else
point,
cares.
if the show sucks, don't go back.
I think the show might actually be good if they write it well, but do I care about it overall because of where it connects to and what it's ultimately leading to? No. If they could get her, like I said, if they could get her out of this particular corner of Star Wars and move her forward in the timeline, I guess World Between Worlds or something. I don't know what they could possibly do, but at the end of the day, the problem with Star Wars right now, it's a dead end, man. Everything is a dead end. That's why Starfighter seems interesting, because Starfighter is after the sequels. All right. So it's like, okay, maybe we're going to turn the page and move forward and tell a different chapter of Star Wars than what we've been seeing. But as far as I agree with what Dante said, as far as Gina's concerned, she was persona non grata, in Hollywood, thanks to Disney and thanks to Lucasfilm. So her coming back might actually kind of rejuvenate, a little bit of her career and make people feel, okay, Warner Brothers and Universal and others would feel more comfortable working with her, because everything they accused her of, that character assassination, that's something that's hard to come back from. And so going back to Star Wars and working with Disney again, Disney's like, okay, Disney's okay with her. Okay, yeah, we can work with her. We'll put her in a movie.
Let me ask you guys.
I would go back to that.
If she made a cameo in Mandalorian Grogu, would that make you more likely to see the movie?
No. Sorry.
I would be intrigued more. I don't know if it would. I mean, a lot of us are going to see it regardless, but I would be.
What's the cameo? Is it like a post-credit scene, like Henry Cavill and Black Adam? Is she in the movie?
She's in a bar and they have a conversation.
I would be more apt to request a special copy of the movie. Like that's what I would.
Well, even her character though is just part of an ensemble. It was a supporting character. No, I need to see Luke being Luke and Han and Leia and Talon Card, Wedge Antilles, marriage. I need to see that before. I'm sorry.
The meltdown would be
it's
fun,
ultimately up to Gina Carano if she wants to come back. I would think that being burned so badly by a company, and now that company, like the brand is completely tarnished, like is it worth her time to even come back? Or if she's had these discussions with Dave Filoni, is it? Right? Yeah. If she's had these discussions with Dave Filoni, is it worth her time coming back now that she's had years to process all of this and move on from it and finally put it behind her? Does she want to jump on board that ship again with a company that so badly burned her years and years ago? It's ultimately her decision. I don't think it would be in her best interest. I think that maybe she should just accept, if they apologize to her, accept the apology and move on. I think that so much time has passed since season 1 and season 2 of The Mandalorian with her character that who knows if people will even remember, that people that stuck with the show. And also she would have to, again, she still receives all of this backlash from the fans, but she would have to put herself in a position to receive a lot of that backlash once again. And it would be amplified even more. She
received a lot of positive from the people that played. I don't know if you guys remember that convention she did a couple of years ago where everybody showed up. Man, there was a line around the corner to see her and get her autograph.
Has long lines, yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm talking about that. Of course, she has a ton of support. But I mean, you saw that she said that she had just a conversation with Dave Filoni, and people were already pushing back and being really upset.
That's why she should do it, because those people aren't fans; they're fucking sycophants.
Yeah.
Yeah.